This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, Marie, and welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I am blessed and I am so happy to be here with you today.
And I am so happy that you are here with me today. It has been a long time since I have seen you, but
I know.
but the first time we met, and I know you remember, traveled to West Palm Beach, and we were on a history program was it Palm Beach College or Palm Beach High School?
Well, the Palm Beach County School District History Department, Black History Department, hosted it for the educators seminar that year, and had you and I and two college professors. I think one was from Michigan or somewhere, and one was from Daytona.
Yes.
And they had us to speak on Rosewood. It was very, very interesting, and the educators were so impressed.
Yes, they were. And one was from Palm Beach County, not Palm Beach, Bethune-Cookman College. I think his name was Dr. Wesley.
Yes.
Yes, and they were super impressed because we were the first people to really know about Rosewood in that area, and was able to give them a detailed history.
Yes. Even the superintendent at that time came to me and told me that we were so well received that he had been getting requests to move me into a classroom to teach history. But I had to tell him I had no desire to teach in the classroom.
Yes, but we were very inspiring.
Yes, we were.
Because you go way back on one side and I'm on the other side of the fence, and I go back my family history. And we were able to, without practice, to bring it together, okay, and make it one history. Even I enjoyed it.
Yes, I did too.
And I still
I
have
did too.
I have the recording too. Don't ask me where, but it's in
Okay.
the house. Yes, and I am so glad we have just continued to go our own way and do our own research. Like I'm researching my family, and you have researched your family, and we are always out there. Okay.
Yes. I want us to get more of these young people involved.
Speaking of young people, I interviewed a young lady, 18 years of age, couple of 3 nights ago, interviewed me. And she said, I have 2 questions for you. I've forgotten the first question. Oh, I know what the first question was. What inspired me to keep researching Rosewood? Okay, and I shared that with her, and she said, okay, I have question number 2. Who is going to continue telling the Rosewood story?
Exactly.
When you are no longer. She didn't say no longer, but I knew what she meant. I
Yes.
said, that was a perfect question, Marie. Who is going
It
to?
was.
Yes, who is going to continue telling the story? Okay, and that's what we need to think
And
about.
as you know, my oldest daughter, Natasha, was one of the first recipients of the scholarship.
Yes.
And she's an assistant principal now. But a couple of years ago, her Delta sorority
Uh-huh.
had us speaking on legacy. And that was some of the questions they posed to her.
Yes.
Natasha, when your mom is gone,
Yes.
you who's going to continue?
Yes.
And she said she talked about her daughter. At the time, Morgan was still in her doctoral program for pharmacy. She's a licensed pharmacist now.
Yes, ma'am.
But the Washington Post had interviewed her at FAMU about her scholarship. And the man was so impressed with her knowledge, he came here and interviewed
And
Natasha and
where
I.
is here? Where is here?
He came to West Palm Beach.
Yes, I just wanted to
He was
say.
in Tallahassee with
Yes.
Morgan.
Uh-huh.
And then he came to West Palm Beach, and he said of the kids that he interviewed, my granddaughter Morgan was the one who had real evidence of who she was
Mm-hmm.
and her connection to Rosewood. So when he came to West Palm, it was near the Christmas holidays, and he interviewed us, and we gave him some paperwork. And Morgan made the front page of the Washington Post. There was 3 pages of the Washington Post that year on us in Rosewood and the students using the scholarship at the time. And so we're telling her, you can't let it drop now. You guys have got to keep it going. You've got to keep your knowledge going. You have to educate the younger ones like we did you, so that
Exactly.
they will know who they are and where they come from. They will know their family history. They don't have to go on ancestry.com, you know?
Exactly. 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 And I saw that article. In fact, I have a copy of that article. And I'm so proud
Mm-hmm.
of Morgan. I remember when Morgan was a little girl. And you,
Yes.
I'm serious. And she is a recipient of the Rosewood, what is it called? Rosewood Scholarship, Family Scholarship.
Yes.
Natasha, your daughter. Now, is
Yes.
Morgan is Natasha's daughter? Is she?
Mm-hmm.
And Courtney.
Yes, that's her son. He's
Now
an attorney.
tell
He used the
tell
scholarship
us.
too.
Okay, tell us about Courtney, your grandson. Where does he work?
Courtney is an attorney in Jacksonville. He works at the firm of Morgan and Morgan.
Wow.
He's been working there while he was in law school. He started working with the firm.
Okay.
And after he finished, they kept him on. He took the licensing exams.
Uh
After he
huh.
passed those, they moved him into his own office. He's very happy there, and I'm very proud of him.
And I am too because I remember when he was a little boy too.
Yes,
I have watched your children grow up with you, and as you say,
yes,
you all are the dream team.
yes. That's my dream team.
You are proud, and I am too, Marie. I'm just proud to know you. I'm proud we connected, and it's like we are blood. As I said, we came to see the Jesus
Exactly.
slash different schooners or different boats, but we became one, and I know that's the work of God that put us together because
Together. That's what I said. That was all God's plan. Thank the Lord.
we think alike, and we are for getting out for sharing the story truthfully, and we have done our
Yes,
homework. And I appreciate
exactly.
you so much. Now, the principal, or she may not have been a principal, but the black lady that worked with us, what's her name?
Debbie Range. And I was
Yes,
just talking with her the other day
really.
because she and Natasha are very close. Her
Okay,
daughters have no children, but their children are Natasha, are Courtney and Morgan.
okay,
So
okay,
we stay very close. Debbie has retired from the school district,
okay,
but she's still very active in everything.
okay. Wonderful. And I know
Yes.
your not Deb, Natasha's grandmother, or was it? Is it her grandmother? She's a Delta. Stubbs.
Oh, that's
Stubbs.
her aunt in
Oh, that's her.
Tallahassee.
Okay.
Yeah, Natasha's auntie is a Delta.
Yes.
Everybody on that side Deltas.
Well, then we are going to have to get with those Deltas and bring them over to the Zeta side. And we need to work this together. We need to work it together.
Morgan did not pledge with Delta. She didn't pledge with anybody. So Zetas are pulling at her since she's finished college.
Okay?
But she says she don't know right now. Her priority is to purchase a home.
Okay, smart young lady. I appreciate that. I like that. Now, Marie, you
Yes.
are Marie Monroe Goings Ames. Your grandfather, or was it your great grandfather?
My great grandfather,
What was his name?
Martine Goins.
From.
He was originally from Moore County, North Carolina, but he
Okay.
was in Rosewood from the late 1800s and had the
Yes.
businesses there.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, his gravestone is still visible in the Rosewood Cemetery.
Yes, the only one. Ask me how I know because I saw it
Ye-
there. I have a picture of it.
yes.
And wasn't he the founder, the black founder of Rosewood? Or one
Well,
of
I don't
them?
know about of the city, but of the Goins Brothers Naval Company, that was his.
Okay.
He owned businesses in North Carolina prior to moving here, Turpentine with the lumber.
Yes.
And I have deeds where they sold off the property after they were in Rosewood.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's what I'm talking about. History.
But you know what, Lizzie? The North Carolina Observer at the time,
Yes.
December of 1905, they wrote an article on him. You know, he died in Rosewood,
Yes.
but North Carolina wrote an article on him, on his Indian heritage, and all he had accomplished in North Carolina prior to coming here.
Yes.
And you know, I think I sent you a copy of that article. I'm not sure, but
Yes,
I
you
have it.
did. I have a copy of it. It is in my upcoming
Yes,
book. You know, you sent me everything. What you did send
I
me, we
try.
talked we talked about it. Yes, I have that article. And
You
see,
know, I can send you things and you keep it. But my sister, she's older. And
uh-huh.
sometimes when you talk about different things, she's like, well, you know, I do remember that. Or I remember this. And I'd be like, you guys are old enough to have taught me.
Yes.
But her great grandkids call here from Philadelphia asking about their history. And I send her things, she never has it.
Okay. But
I
see,
say, girl, that's important things. And your great grand want to know. So you should hang on to that stuff.
exactly, but she's not interested. I understand.
She's not like that.
My sister was older. She told my mom, I don't want to hear that. And my mom asked me, not asked, appointed. See, everybody is not interested in history. So I
I
understand.
know.
I understand. And that's why we are together today. Okay.
That's what I say. Thank God for Lizzie.
Uh-huh. And I say thank God for you. Okay, that's about time for our first half. We are going to head to a quick break and we'll be right back
Okay.
after a word from our sponsors.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History.
I am Florida and America's Black History.
And you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Marie Ames, a Rosewood Descendant. The Queen Lizzie podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Special thanks to Greg Bradley, Allstate. Marie, we are back.
All righty.
Okay. It has been an honor to have you on this show today. I am happy. We're catching up. We are
Yes.
reminiscing. We are remembering our family, Rosewood family. And as I tell people each week that my aunt was the Rosewood school teacher from
Yes.
1915, okay, to 1923. And I know I have educated you on that, and you don't forget either. And I appreciate
No,
that.
my dad, and the people that were here in Palm Beach that would talk about Rosewood, they talked about your aunt. What did they call her? It
MG,
wasn't
no,
her real
Gussie.
name,
Gussie.
Miss Gussie.
Yes.
They
Yes.
talked about their teacher.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? And no one knows it but Marie. I have your grandfather, Monroe. What was his name? What was your
John.
John Monroe
Yes.
is on one of her school records. I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you're going to be so happy to see it. And he was the guardian of two children. I can't think of their names, but I should have brought it with me today. I didn't remember. But two of the children names are on that document. People don't have
Was it Clara name listed?
what? Clara?
Was Clara name listed?
I'm thinking it was. I'm
You
thinking
know why?
it
Because
was.
my dad always said Aunt Clara. But when you look at the census records, Clara lived with my grandparents at one time. But she, from what I grew up knowing, was actually my grandmother's sister Queenie's daughter.
Uh-huh.
But she lived in their house. Now, I don't know if that's because Queenie had died
Mm-hmm.
before my grandmother, because she died in 1917 in childbirth.
Okay, right.
So
You
my Aunt Marie became the woman of the house at an early age.
okay,
So,
okay.
but yeah, so it might have been Aunt Clara, because I know in some of the things I have, she's listed as living in the household with them
Well, I
on a
have that
census record.
right. Well, I have the school record. And
Hmm.
when people talk about how many people were in Rosewood, no one knows. It was no 500 or 600 because Marie, on that school record there are 20, I believe, guardians, parents, and maybe
Hmm.
47, maybe 40, about 47 children, students. Now, that's 20 and 47, that's 67 people. However, there were kids that didn't like school. They
Right.
preferred to work. And their names will not be on the school records, but they were
Right.
still in the community. And there were adults, there were guys that left and went to the service. And people don't know, Marie, there were 8 Rosewood are men that went to service during 1917 and 1920. One was
And
white.
you know what? I have Granddaddy John's, what you call it? What kind of card they give them when they go in the military?
Okay,
I have that, but
veterans
I don't
card.
know what year, because he went in the military from Rosewood.
Really, really.
Uh huh.
Okay, well, I probably have it. I should have done my homework, but I probably have it. I have all of the cards, all 8 cards that I just told you about. I have a copy of
Mm-hmm.
the original copy of those cards I have. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But
But
the reason my family came to Riviera, which wasn't called Riviera at the time, is because Granddaddy John, at the time of the massacre, was here in Kelsey City, which is now Lake Park, training at the sawmill on a machine they had just gotten. So my dad and his siblings, they made it to Jacksonville and then here.
Okay.
And they all belong to the same church I go to this day.
Is that right? Same here in Archer.
Hmm.
My aunt and
As
mom.
a matter of fact, Sarah, cousin Sarah, she was Goins Carrier, and then when she died, she was Johnson. Her goddaughter belongs to my church.
Is that right?
And I was talking to her one day. She came to me and said, "How is my godmother Sarah related to you?" I say, "Sarah Goins Carrier." She said, "Yeah." I said, "That's my daddy's first cousin." And she said, when they were little, my oldest sister Elaine in Philadelphia, she said, cousin Gert kept her and Elaine almost constantly. And say
Really?
she used to call my sister Elaine her Sophie. And I said, well, Josephine, that was my grandmother's name.
Okay, I got
And so it's
Sophie.
been like, wow.
Okay, I know about a Sophie. I'll have to look her up, but that name rings a bell.
Yes, my
Now,
grandmother was Sophie Goins Monroe.
now, who was Carrie? Was that Sylvester Carrier's mother?
No, this cousin Gert married Sylvester.
Okay, all right, all right,
Remember
all right.
at one time Arnett Doctor was telling people that she's buried in Gainesville? We were like, what is he talking about? Her headstone right here in Riviera Beach.
That's what I'm talking about. False
Okay, she
information.
died right here and had a
Yes.
second husband
Okay.
before she died. And so
Okay.
they just gave out all kind of wrong information.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand. I hear you. Because
Yes.
it's only supposed to be eight different families now. Girl, it's 40 some families. It was a
I
lot of
know.
us over the years. Okay. So
Yes.
I don't buy into all of that. That's why we research so that we can report our truth.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, yes, I enjoy it. Now tell me about the Waldens.
Okay. It took me a minute to find out who Eli Walden was. All I did know for years is that he and great granddaddy Martine were very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've learned that my great grandmother Lydia
Mm-hmm.
was Eli Walden's sister, and my great grandfather's only sister, Rebecca, who never left North Carolina and came down here. She was married to Eli Walden. So they were two best friends that married each other's sisters.
Oh, but she
Ain't
didn't
that
leave.
something?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Now, how do I know about Eli Walden? Because you have briefed me, you have shared your history,
Hmm.
and I remember it. However, I just can't connect them. And that's why I
Yes,
joined you
he
today.
died in March of 1900, and he's buried in Rosewood.
But not a grave marker, headstone, right?
It's not there anymore.
No,
It was one there at one time, but it's not there anymore because my grandmother Sophie is buried there.
uh-huh,
Queenie's supposed to be buried there.
uh-huh,
Now, Aunt Marie, as I told you before, she caught pneumonia when they were on the run.
right.
And I've learned from census records, from vital statistics records, she is buried at a cemetery in Chiefland.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because you're saying these other family members are buried in Rosewood, there are cement blocks that indicates that somebody is buried there, and there are depressions. I think that's what you call them, or indentions. Okay, to let
Yeah.
us know that people are buried there. But there is an archaeologist that's telling people that, oh, there are 100 and some people buried in the cemetery. That's a lie. Okay.
No, that's not true.
Yes, yes, and don't come bootlegging our information. Okay, em-
Exactly.
embellishing it just to write a book and make a name for yourself.
And that's what they do.
They do it well. Yes, they do. But that's why we're here. and got to get our grandchildren and great grandchildren on
Exactly.
board so they can carry the history.
Now,
Truthfully,
Courtney and Ivory, my nephew, have been saying they want to become more involved.
okay,
Ivory is a long distance truck driver. Right now, he's in California somewhere.
okay,
And Courtney, as you know, his caseload has been so heavy lately.
yes, yes. Well, you
But
tell
he
them
says he wants to get involved. And so I've given them your information, both of
right,
them, so that when they're that way, they can look you up,
okay,
because they know with my health, I can't do that running like I used to do.
exactly, right. But that's
So
okay. We'll
I'm
put them
I'm
in touch.
thankful I now know how to get on your podcast.
Yes. And my
So I
website.
can watch you.
Okay, and you tell them and all of your friends to visit our website at rosewoodflorida.com. And later
Okay.
on, yes, later on, I am going to connect, hopefully, Morgan and Morgan, okay, with or
Mm-hmm.
on my website so that people will, okay, hey, we need an attorney, and they can call
Oh
Morgan and
yes.
Morgan. I will do that
Right.
because I know they are going to give a sponsorship. Because guess what?
Oh, thank God.
Yes, Saturday, coming up this
Yes.
Saturday, I am in the city parade, the parade here in Gainesville. Morgan has given a sponsorship, and they don't
Woo!
even know.
Thank God.
Yeah, they don't
Yes.
even know that a Rosewood
Right.
Descendant is in the
Works
parade.
for them. Yes.
Exactly. So, yes, we're going to make this happen. And as I said, and if anybody else want to make a donation, go to rosewoodflorida.com. We give 5 scholarships a year, only
Exactly.
$500, but that's a lot of money, people say.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure Debbie Range has your information also.
Perfect. Perfect. We
Mhm.
need all of the help. And the deltas, okay?
Yes, Debbie is a Delta too.
Okay, that's
Listen,
okay. And
I tell them about all them stuck up Deltas, but they know I love them.
okay. I do too. All right, you just tell them to hang in there. You tell them the Zetas got it going on. As,
Listen, we have Zetas at my church. The new pastor is now a Delta, and we
okay.
had a Delta. So sometime I be in there like, is this Greek Sunday or what? You know?
Yes, yes. But we need their help because we need to work for, we are working for the next generation. And we need to
Exactly.
preserve history because I tell people history is who we are. And we need to preserve it and tell it correctly.
Exactly.
Okay, because we are
And
seeing,
what's going on now in the state of Florida with the school districts
yes,
from Tallahassee trying to stop our history and
yes,
trying to tell portions of it and change what portions they tell. I tell parents all the time because we have got to get back into teaching our kids ourselves.
exactly. Exactly, because you can't change history. We made this history. Our ancestors lived it.
Exactly.
Okay, so you can't change what we have lived. Okay, and we need to let them know, yes, the parents and our family, we need to keep this history alive out
Yes,
there.
we do.
Yes, and with people like you and your dream team, your three, and this is a story in itself. You and your daughter and her 2 children. That's history.
Yes.
All 3 of them are recipients of the Rosewood Family Scholarship.
Yes, that's
Plus,
true.
how many, Marie, how many scholarships you think are the foundation, not the foundation, Tallahassee has given out?
Well, I don't know about, I know now they do 50 a year,
Okay.
but they don't all have to be descendants. If 50 descendants apply, then the other people not supposed to get it, supposedly.
Yes.
So I push people to apply whether they're
Anyway.
descendants or not.
Exactly.
Because my thing is, if we don't have 50 descendants applying, then you can get in there and get a scholarship, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. But the
And
last
I just tell
time,
them you have to go to a public school, or a public vocational school.
okay.
But
Uh,
all Tasha and both of her kids all attended FAMU,
yes. Yes.
They were on that hill.
Yes. Yes. And you were too, because you were pushing and
Yeah, have no
supporting.
choice.
Yes, you were. Okay, Marie. This is about to end, but is there anything you want to say before we close out today? Anything else?
Well, I just want to encourage people to make sure your family knows their history. And
Yes.
not just their history, but America's true African American history.
Yes.
Because Black people contributed so much to this country that this country does not give them credit for.
I
And we
agree.
need to make sure our children know that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you again for being my guest. And I will call you when I am on my way home. I
Okay, and
am
thank you for having me.
okay. You are welcome. I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and invite them to join in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. That will wrap
Yes.
up today's episode. I am Queen Lizzie. Until next time, this is my Rosewood story, and I'm sticking to
Yes.
it. Goodbye, Marie.
Yes. Bye bye.